Imagine facing relentless pain, both physical and emotional, day after day. Most would break, but not Batman. His body has been pushed to its limits, his soul tested by loss and despair. Yet through it all, he endures. What sets him apart? It's not just his strength. It's his unshakable will to overcome suffering. Today, we'll uncover the secret behind Batman's incredible endurance and how he transforms pain into power, pushing past the limits of human resilience. From the outside, it's easy to see Batman as nothing more than a masked vigilante. But beneath the cape and cowl is a man who has endured more pain than most could ever imagine. Loss, betrayal, physical injuries, and emotional scars. He carries them all. But what truly defines him isn't the pain itself. It's his ability to endure it and rise above it. One of Batman's greatest lessons is that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. He doesn't shy away from pain. Instead, he faces it head-on, knowing that it's a necessary part of his journey. From the moment Bruce Wayne lost his parents, he was introduced to the harsh reality of life's suffering. That moment could have broken him, but instead it became the foundation for the legend of the Dark Knight. But how does Batman endure when the world seems intent on breaking him? It starts with his mindset. Batman knows that pain is temporary, but his mission is eternal. When he's battling enemies like Bane, who once shattered his back, or taking beatings that would cripple most, he doesn't focus on the pain, he focuses on the goal. This singular focus allows him to push past physical limitations and keep fighting when others would fall. Yet Batman's endurance is about more than just physical toughness. Emotional suffering is perhaps the hardest challenge anyone can face, and for Batman, it's a constant. He carries the weight of every life he can't save, every loved one he's lost, every failure that haunts him. His relationship with pain goes beyond enduring it. He uses it. Instead of allowing emotional suffering to paralyze him, Batman transforms it into fuel. It's what drives him to keep going night after night, to protect a city that might never be saved. This endurance is built on a foundation of discipline. Batman trains relentlessly, not just his body but his mind. He prepares for pain, knowing it's inevitable. Whether it's the searing pain of battle wounds or the crushing weight of grief, he meets it with resilience. His training has taught him that suffering is not something to be feared, it's something to be mastered. There's a powerful Stoic principle that Batman embodies, the idea that we don't control what happens to us, but we do control how we respond to it. Pain is part of Batman's life, but he doesn't let it define him. Instead, he chooses how to respond. When his body is broken, he rebuilds it. When his heart is shattered, he strengthens his resolve. Batman teaches us that endurance isn't about avoiding pain. It's about pushing through it, learning from it, and emerging stronger on the other side. Consider the villains Batman faces. Each one brings a unique form of suffering. The Joker constantly tests his mental limits, pushing him to the brink of insanity. Bane forces him to confront the limits of his physical strength, and Ra's al Ghul challenges his morality, making him question his very purpose. But Batman endures them all because he understands that suffering is not something to run from, it's something to embrace. And here's where Batman's true power lies. He doesn't just endure pain, he grows from it. Every punch, every scar, every loss becomes a lesson. Every time he's knocked down, he rises with a deeper understanding of his limits and how to surpass them. Pain is his teacher, not his enemy. For us, endurance in the face of pain means understanding that we can't escape suffering, but we can control how we respond to it. Whether it's physical pain or emotional hardship, Batman shows us that the key to overcoming suffering is not to avoid it, but to embrace it as part of the journey. Endurance isn't about being invincible, it's about being unbreakable in spirit. So the next time you face pain, ask yourself, what would Batman do? Would he let it stop him, or would he push through, knowing that on the other side of suffering lies strength, growth, and mastery?